So, how in the world did Mr. Beast pull off one of the biggest videos like ever? He pitted regular people against some of the greatest athletes in the world for $1 million. But here's the thing, it wasn't just luck. Oh no, there's a brilliant formula at play here, and that's exactly what we're going to break down.
Okay, so it all kicks off with this really simple but, man, incredibly powerful question. Just think about it. What if you had a shot to go up against a living legend, not in some video game, but for real?
And then, what if we raise the stakes? What if the prize wasn't just, bragging rights for the rest of your life, but a life-changing $1 million check? See? That's the hook. It's this impossible dream, tied to a reward you just can't ignore.
Mr. Beast lays out the entire video in this one single sentence. Right off the bat, you get the 3 magic ingredients: a regular person, a total global icon, and a cool $1 million. The stakes, they're crystal clear, and they are absolutely massive. And get this isn't some private little challenge. We're talking about a global spectacle with 200 million people watching. That kind of audience, well, it completely transforms a simple contest into this high-pressure, edge-of-your-seat drama.
So, how does he actually build all that drama? Well, he starts by tapping into one of the oldest, most powerful stories ever told, the classic battle between the Titans and, the regular Joes.
What this does is, it taps right into this super powerful psychological trigger we all have, the underdog appeal. I mean, think about it. We're just hardwired to root for the little guy against the giant, right? It creates this instant emotional connection because deep down, we all see a little bit of ourselves in that underdog.
And just look at how perfectly this plays out. So on one side, you've got Bryce Harper, a 2-time MVP, over 300 home runs. The guy's a legend. And on the other side, we've got Big Justice, a kid who's literally half his size, and his claim to fame is terrorizing his Little League. The mismatch is so insane, it's almost funny. And that's exactly why you can't tear your eyes away. But see, it's more than just a contest. It becomes personal. Really personal. When you hear his dad cheering him on, yelling, "Big Justice brings the boom, come on, baby," man, it just hits you. This isn't just a game. This is a kid's dream playing out right in front of us. And all of a sudden, it's about family, it's about pride, and that just makes you root for him that much harder.
Okay, but here's the thing. Rooting for an underdog is only fun if they actually have a shot, right? An impossible fight? That's not a story. It's just a beatdown. And that brings us to the next absolutely crucial part of this whole formula, engineering a fight that feels, well, fair.
And honestly, this is where the real genius comes in. I mean, how do you take a matchup that, let's be real, should be over in a few seconds and stretch it into a nail-biting, suspenseful competition? Simple. You don't leave it to chance. You design it. And it turns out there's a pretty clear 4-step playbook for this. First, you got to show everyone just how dominant the pro is. You remind them they're a legend. Then, step 2, you introduce a game-changing handicap that levels the playing field. From there, it's all about creating tension with a bunch of near misses. Keep people guessing. And it all builds to this epic climax where that impossible victory feels like it's right there for the take.
And we see this playbook in action over and over again. I mean, look at this. Tom Brady, he's throwing at these teeny tiny balloons. Bryce Harper, his home run fence is literally cut in half. And Bryson DeChambeau is aiming for a golf hole that's like 50 times bigger than normal. It's all about bending the rules, strategically, of course.
So all of this, every challenge, every near miss, it's all building up to the grand finale. The biggest test, the biggest celebrity on the planet, and that $1 million prize. It all comes down to the final showdown with Cristiano Ronaldo. And this right here is the moment the entire video has been building to. The amateur, Khalid, somehow, some way, actually takes the lead. And that line, "Excuse me, Ronaldo, you are currently beating Ronaldo," it's delivered with such perfect comedic timing. But underneath the laugh, there's this jaw-dropping reality. The impossible is actually happening. And just when you think it can't get any more tense, it does. Mr. Beast turns to Ronaldo and asks him point blank, "You think you can hit the next 3 in a row?" And the legend himself, the guy who never backs down, just says, "Honest? No." Just let that sink in for a second. When literally one of the greatest athletes of all time admits he might not be able to do it, you suddenly start to believe the underdog really truly has a chance. And then, boom, it happens. Khalid sinks that final shot. And that number on the screen, it's not just a number anymore. It's real. $1
million. The impossible dream, engineered to absolute perfection, becomes reality.
Okay, so let's zoom out. When you put all these pieces together, what are we really looking at? What's the repeatable formula here? What's the actual blueprint that turned this video into a global phenomenon?
When you boil it all down, it really comes down to 4 key ingredients. You've got the underdog appeal, that's what gets you emotionally invested. Then you've got the high stakes, the life-changing money that makes every single moment count. Then there's the engineered fairness, those clever handicaps that make you believe the impossible is possible. And finally, you throw in the celebrity power, the biggest names in sports to guarantee a massive audience. You mix all that together, it's just a perfect storm for viral gold.
Which, leaves us with one last big question to think about. When entertainment is engineered this perfectly, this meticulously, where does the sport actually end and where does the show begin? And maybe, in today's world, does that line between them even matter anymore?